Stephen Newell was with us here on the John Mendola Show from Dallas area. We got a chance to talk with you last year, senior year, captain, 182 pounds, doing great stuff. Let's get the college thing out of the way. Talk about what colleges were in the mix and what you finally settled on.
Okay, so I first college that approached me was Davidson, and which is the one that I ultimately went to. It's a great school right down in North Carolina. 2 new coaches, rebuilding program, good education, which is number one, and then a couple other schools that were in the mix for Brown. Both coaches up there were hitting me up. Edinburgh, a little bit. A lot of D2 and D3 schools.
I guess it's nice to be wanted, but your heart was set on Davidson?
Yeah. It's like it was the first school I visited actually, and as soon as I stepped on the campus, super super nice feeling. It almost felt like home. So it's what I ultimately went with.
That's what people always say that you look for. Let's talk about that grade point average, 4.0. You're 15th in your class. Your honor society, and Dallas challenges you academically. Talk about where those study habits came from and the people that influenced you to be such a good student.
So Dallas statistically is a pretty highly touted school, especially for a public school, and my class specifically is completely competitive, and ever since 6th grade, it's always been a competition between high grades and all that. So, and I formed my friend group basically around pretty smart kids at a young age. So they have really influenced me to do well in school, have good study habits, and eventually go in the National Honor Society too. And
For you, making the weight at 182, do you feel like you burn 1 million calories, like you're okay, you don't have to watch as much?
Yeah, see, like right now, like prior years, I really had to watch and cut, and even last year, like my first meet going up, I was like 10 over, like 2 days before the first meet, and I had to get down. But this year I don't really have to do that at all. It's pretty nice being fat and happy, and just enjoying my senior year.
Glad it's all working out for you. As far as the wrestling part, talk about how your year's going and what you look forward to. Districts, regional, states, they're all lined up, but you got to take one at a time.
Yeah, my year's going well at the tournaments. Penn Manor, I ended up taking second to the same kid I lost to at the Blood Rounds of States last year, which was a heartbreaker, but I learned from the loss and moved forward. Conestoga Valley, had a good tournament there. Pinned my way through pinned technically through that tournament, and eventually broke the school record, which was pretty big, a big feat, a goal of mine since a while back, and I'm looking forward to the postseason coming up. Good record so far, but once the postseason comes around, the record means nothing. You just gotta go one match at a time and get wins.
You hear different guys with different mentalities. There's some guys like, I don't even look at my opponent, I don't watch any film, I don't really care, I just go out and wrestle. Other guys are like, their uncle's studying a guy, they have an assistant JV coach and all this different stuff. For you, what's the approach?
My approach really is just going out there and wrestling. I guess not focusing on the opponent as much, but staying as calm as I can, because some big matches in the postseason can be pretty nerve-wracking for a lot of people. And I like to just listen to some calm music before I go out, don't get real hyped up, and stay focused on my matches 100%.
All right, well, you sound pretty focused. Congratulations on heading down to North Carolina, the school of Davidson. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Lenny Kelly joins us here in the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire Service. We are at our Carol and Janelle, the pizza capital of the world. Lenny, let's talk about the transition for you from football season to wrestling. How healthy were you going into wrestling, and what was that transition like?
It's a little rough at first, not football shape and wrestling shape are two different things. You're obviously sore from the season. We only took off a week. Some of us didn't even take any days off. Your body's just beat up from a long season. This year we had a pretty successful season, so it went farther than usual. You just got to get in wrestling shape.
I know Coach Mendola was quite pleased with the way football season went for you, and and the weight room is such a big deal. Talk about where you're at still with the weight room as you're into wrestling season.
Yeah, we still lift as the normal days that we would be able to, unless we have a meet the next day, and if not, you miss a lift, you get to go in on Saturdays and make it up, which is pretty good.
As far as your body now, and you go through wrestling season, you feel like your body's changed a little bit. Like, what was the weight difference between football season and wrestling season?
The only difference with the weightlifting is your numbers aren't going up as much. You're just trying to, you're in there just to make sure you're staying at the same level that you were. You don't want to be dropping anyway.
You feel pretty strong overall?
Yeah.
Let's talk about on the wrestling mat and the competition, what it's been like for you, and I'm sure you have some good partners in the room that kind of push you.
Yeah, you just got to you got to go over the stuff you do in practice. You can only, you got to practice the stuff you're doing as much as you can. You just got to practice that so it's easy to remember in a match.
Do you have a favorite sport between wrestling and football? You like them both?
Yeah, I like them both pretty much.
Nice. Big family, so talk about your siblings, what they're all up to.
My Maddie's actually playing at Wilkes right now, basketball, and she plays field hockey.
Saw her the other day and interviewed her. She had a good game?
Yes. My older sister, she's working right now. And my younger brother, he plays basketball, football, and baseball.
All right, 3-sport athlete. Let's talk about the plans for you. It's your junior year. Things are going to start heating up for you. You'd like to go to college. You thinking about playing a sport maybe?
I was thinking about playing football.
All right. And as far as your family, talk about them, rooting you on, being there for you, whatever you need.
Parents are always there to push me. I wouldn't be able to make it to any of most of the practices that are not during after school. Family is always taking me for different practices, extra practices, different weight rooms when we don't have school, simple stuff like that.
All right, Lenny, well, we wish you the best going forward, okay?
Thank you.
Sean Henniger is with us here in the John Mendola Show. He is a senior. Sean, we got to talk with you last year. What's changed between last year and this year as far as you being out there on the wrestling mat?
Put a little more weight on this year. Spend a little more time in the weight room, trying to put a little more size on, trying to keep that speed down. Don't want to get too big, but just trying to keep the same wrestling, change little things up on guys, but pretty much the same.
Busy couple weeks coming up. We'll start with districts when that comes to us. What are you looking forward to with the district tournament?
District, just take one match at a time. We'll try to make it to the finals again, and we'll just focus from there, one match at a time this year.
Some good opponents in District 2, and if you're able to make it out to regionals, no doubt about it. As far as what you tried to grow from last year to this year on the wrestling mat, what do you think were some of the focuses that you and Coach Richard talk about?
Changing a little more, being more aggressive on top, being a better top rider, getting out on bottom, and the biggest thing is scoring on my feet.
As far as the next step for you, talk about going to college. You have a handful of schools you're looking at right now?
Absolutely. Right now, I haven't figured out where I want to go yet. I have a couple of ideas where I want to go for ecology.
Okay, and we wish you the best with that. A nice subject area for you to grow in. And how about some of the role models in your life?
My parents were a big part. My mom, especially this year with me. Had some ups and downs this year, but she stuck it in with me, and I really appreciate her and give her a big thanks for that. My dad too, and one on there, Adam Goinger, he's been there, and it started back in like elementary. I used to go watch him play sports all the time. I finally looked down and I said one day, I was like, when are you going to watch me play? I remember it very well as a kid. He walked in during a Super Bowl game when we were playing football, came and gave me a handshake and told me, keep it a good workout, buddy. He had to go with the SAT math, but that kind of gave me what I wanted to do as a leader and give back to the community.
Well, nice to hear that, one of those older guys kind of you looked up to kind of came through for you, and maybe you'll get to do the same one day. As far as the hanging out with the guys, I'm sure you guys try to have some fun, but there's a lot of business work. Talk about what it's like to be around these guys on the wrestling mat and in the room, and then maybe you guys will get a movie or do something fun.
It's all work in the room right now. We just keep going right now. We're grinding towards the districts, and the season, we have this really long season now. A couple meets getting posted back, and they all got wrestled within the same week. But after that, we're all brothers after the end, in the room, out of the room. And it's really fun to spend a lot of time with these guys, and it was great to spend a lot of time with Coach and getting that bonding in again and getting more of the feel of what we belong together.
All right, Sean, we wish you the best. Great to catch up with you.
Thank you.
Liam Farrell is with us here on the John Mendola Show as we talk Dallas wrestling. Senior season, one of the captains here on this team. Let's talk what you try to do on the mat to be a leader.
I just try to motivate the team. We got a bunch of lightweights, new guys out, so I just try to work with them, get them hyped before their matches, get them motivated to go out there and hit the moves that we teach them in the room.
A couple siblings for you. Tell us about what both of them are up to right now.
So my brother James is currently at Penn State Wilkes-Barre, and he's studying engineering electrical. And my sister wants to become a nurse, so she's going to main campus. She just committed a few months ago, 5 months ago, to Penn State.
And college will be coming up for you. What are you looking to study? Looks like in the science area?
Yeah, I want to study environmental science because I spend a lot of time outside. Got a place up towards Tunkhannock, I like going fishing and stuff. It's a good time.
Are you wide open right now as far as what schools you're looking at? Not sure?
Yeah, I've looked at a few. I've looked at Kings and then Penn State. So, yeah, a few options.
Good. Let's talk about some role models in your life. One of them that stands out says your grandfather was a wrestler at Wilkes back in the day, and boy, there were some pretty good teams back in the day. So tell us a little about your grandfather.
He was a World War II vet. Came out of the war. He got shot in the arm. Then he got his college paid for because he just came right out of the army. And then wrestled for Wilkes Division I. So tough dude.
And your grandpa's name?
It's James R. Farrell.
All right, so James R. Farrell, one of the wrestlers at Wilkes back in the day. And then your dad is listed here as well, and talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, that's James Farrell Jr. That's my dad. Just ever since I was in 2nd grade, he just signed me up. I used to play basketball. I didn't know anything about the sport. I just came in blank. And then I had Jerry O'Gurkis, who is my assistant now. He taught me the ropes in the beginning, and he's been with me ever since. So, yeah.
And, of course, Coach Richards, talk about his style as a wrestling coach. What would you say his style is to kind of get after you guys but make it fun at the same time?
He's very motivating. Some coaches teach for individuality, but he is a good team coach. He brings everybody together. If a kid's down or it's a first-year kid, he's always trying to make them better, trying to make them believe to go out there and work the hardest. So, yep.
That sounds pretty cool. Well, Liam, I know you play lacrosse and soccer as well. Mm-hmm. So you're a 3-sport athlete. What do you look forward to with lacrosse season this year at Dallas?
Just getting the district trip. That's what we want. There's a few teams out there we need to beat, and just need to make it happen. And
some young coaches out there for Dallas as well, right?
Yeah, well, we just got our electronics teacher, John Zug. He is our lacrosse coach. Okay. He went to Millersville and played there, and now he's coaching us. So.
All right. Well, we wish him the best. We wish you the best, and we appreciate your time. Thanks, Liam.
Thank you.
Mike Richards with us here in the John Mendola Show. We're talking Dallas wrestling. Got a nice group of guys over there, and nice guys in the room. Let's talk about the program this year at Dallas. How'd you guys fare?
We did pretty good this year, John. We lived up to our expectations. I think we finished pretty much right where I thought we would, within the district. We made the district rules. That was our goal this year, was to get there. We won a match at district rules and ended up dropping one to Abington Heights on the second day. But overall, I think individually and team-wise, we pretty much accomplished all the goals I thought we would.
Let's talk about some of the leadership. Stephen Newell, a leader on the mat, and what he does in the classroom, does a pretty good job. A competitive guy.
Yes, he is. He's he's a kid everybody should emulate. He works hard in the room. He puts in the time on and off the mat, in the room, outside the room, in the classroom. More importantly, GPA 3.95. 2-time All-State, All-Academic. So he's the kid everybody should look up to.
Are these guys going, or they're sticking around, right? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about getting guys through. Everything's kind of getting geared up. You're focused on districts and pushing guys, as many guys as you could through. Do you feel like you have some opportunities there with more than just one guy?
Yeah, I think we've always peaked at the right time. Last 3 or 4 seasons, we've really peaked. Come districts. Even when our team wasn't so strong, we've always done very well individually. And I think this year we have the opportunity to do the same. Overall, I think the district is a little more competitive than it's been in the last couple of years. But we definitely, I think, could take 4 to 5 guys realistically down to regionals, and depending on how things go, maybe even more. Last year, I think we took 7 or 8 down last year. And, the potential is there to do it again, but I'd be very upset if we don't take at least 4 or 5 down.
Let's talk about the coaching in the room. What kind of guys you have coming behind you and making sure that they're picking up stuff that you might not have, and you kind of all work together.
Yeah, we've got a really good room this year. Good workout partners is important in a room this year. We have that. We have a pretty good balance of young kids and new kids. We're able to get our kids paired up pretty well, and I think it's benefited. We have a couple freshmen this year that have really kind of helped our seniors, and vice versa. Working out in the room, like I said, that leadership. We have 7 seniors this year, so having that senior leadership in the room has been a big bonus for our underclassmen. We've had a really good room this year. Probably one of the best rooms I've had in a long time.
Making weight, have you had many issues there? Guys been pretty disciplined
about
it?
Pretty disciplined, couple slip-ups here and there, but you have that every season. But I'm not big on weight loss. I like to let my kids wrestle their natural weights the best we can, and occasionally we'll have guys lose weight when we need them to, but we usually have a pretty good niche there where most of the guys know where they want to be preseason, so we kind of figure it out before the season starts.
Let's talk about wrestling numbers. So trying to get guys out for junior high and keeping those numbers up, and everybody has that same fight. You guys fighting the good fight as well?
Well, it's funny, John. In the last couple of years, we've lost that fight. We've really struggled with the junior high numbers last 2 or 3 years. I think last year we finished with 6 kids. And for us, that's just been a battle we've been fighting. And as you know, it's through not only the district but the state and the nation.
Sure.
It's a hard sport, and a lot of kids don't want to give it a shot. But this year we got a lot of football kids to come out this year. We doubled our numbers. I think we had 17 kids this year come out for junior high, and most of them stayed out. And I think that's going to be our building block moving forward. If we can keep a good number of those kids out for next year, and then build on that, I think we can get back to where we need to be. I think we're going to have a couple years here, at the high school level where we might be down just because the numbers might not be there. But I think the lull hopefully won't be very long.
Yeah, some of the last couple of years here, coaches joking, there's 90 kids out for boys basketball. Hey, we'll take a few of those athletes.
Well, we're in the same boat. Our basketball team, they don't cut it down, so there's literally between 9th and 12th grade probably 50 kids out. And then if you take the junior high, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, each team probably has 20 or 30 kids on it. So basketball is just a big sport in this area. It always has been, but wrestling is a tough sport, and it's not for everybody. And a lot of stigma that comes with wrestling, a lot of the things that you hear about it, and I think people listen to that stuff until they actually do it. Most of the kids that came out this year, the junior high kids, going to come out love it. They never thought they'd like it, and I talked to them all the time. They're like, it's the best thing they ever did. So sure. Just got to get more kids doing that.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of positive coaches here in northeastern Pennsylvania, and you guys have a bond that, like a lot of other sports don't. You pull for each other. You're with each other, districts or regionals, or the West Scranton coach here earlier. You guys are chatting up a storm.
It is, and I all coaches I think have that bond. But wrestling is maybe I'm biased because I'm a wrestling guy, but there's a bond there that I think goes beyond most coaches. A lot of guys, Jay Conagus and one of my best friends, and we talk probably every day. Either sure. I call him or he calls me, and
yep.
We're talking strategies and what he should do or what I should do, and he's asking my advice and vice versa. And it's a pretty tight-knit community we have.
Well, Mike, we wish you the best at districts, regional, states. Hopefully you guys can keep it going for the next several weeks.
I hope so. Thanks for everything, John. Appreciate it.
You got it.